Hello, I'm Vivian. Welcome to my channel. This is on depression. I'm putting it in both the health series and the mental health series because, again, I cannot stress enough, what you eat, certain things you do, affects how your brain works. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, depression, I believe, has a dietary cause, and it's not the same for everybody, but I think a lot of times our brains, especially, I think there's been an increase in depression since the low fat craze of our diet. You know, fat is bad. It's not bad. It depends on certain fats, hydrogenated fats, Crisco, that kind of stuff, any sort of hydrogenated. And that's what the study was done. If you go back, when you hear about studies have shown that blah, 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 you need to ask who paid for that study, who conducted the study, how many people were involved in the study, what did they exclude from the study, because even though you may fall into the parameters of that study, you know, they're studying people in their 30s, but they're going to exclude people that have whatever from the study, even though they fit into the age and gender group. You need to know that, how many people, what was excluded, and exactly what was conducted. You'll get eggs. Eggs are bad for you. They're really toxic. Don't eat them. Eggs are really good for you. They're the perfect superfood. Eat as many as you can. And it goes back and forth, almost like every 5-year cycle. There's eggs are bad. Eggs are, and then, you know, then it swings the other way. What I've learned is, if you look at my egg video, my backyard eggs and the cost of them, it's outrageous. These are the most expensive eggs I've ever eaten. Is our own backyard eggs. If you look at the lives of the farm eggs, the chickens that lay those, chickens can live to 8 to 10 years. Factory chickens last a year and a half tops. The way they're, 23 hours of light, 1 hour of darkness. How they're caged, how they're made to live. Their beaks and I think some of them, the spurs or something, it's cut off. It's removed, so their beak is blunted, so they can't peck at each other because there's so many in a small cage. They're literally being pooped on from those above and pooping on those below. It's a really horrible work conditions for humans to go into that. They have to wear masks and all this. So you can imagine. Then they're having to pull out dead chickens from the cages, and then cycle them all out because it's horrendous. It's really, really bad. I don't want to support that industry. But there's no way, even if they had the same feed as I'm feeding my chickens, that the eggs come out the same. Because they're under an incredible amount of stress. We can make jokes about bird brains and they're not really, intelligent and all, but when they're under a constant stress like that, all the time, they're never, they never walk on grass, they never see a bug, except maybe parasites. You got to stop and think. There's no way that chicken can produce a healthy egg for us. Think about what you're eating too at that point in that egg, compared to what you can grow in your own backyard with happy chickens that are living a good life. Now, I've got chickens 4 years old that are still laying eggs. So what you're taking in makes a difference on the depression. I got diagnosed as functionally depressed, which is a really stupid label, because I had all the classic signs of depression, but I wasn't laying in bed crying or, unable to do things. Like some people that are depressed just really can't function. I was functional and depressed, so they got labeled with that and prescribed a medication, Zoloft at that time. I also had some OCD conditions that the Zoloft did help. The Zoloft is only medication that did that. But it takes, it's a serotonin uptake, something or another. do the research. It takes a while for it to actually take any effect. But what really helps me is when I change my diet. Certain things made it more. I also think I'm probably bipolar or manic depressive because just my history. But then again, series of what I was eating, and then being hit with something very stressful, and how I dealt with it. I can go into a manic phase and just really knock something out of the park, but then I can't stop myself and I continue on. And that can be very dangerous. I wasn't making good decisions. 3 days of not sleeping, you're not going to make good decisions. They may seem brilliant to you at the moment, but it's not. It's like a drunk person thinking they're really smart and getting something over on somebody, and everyone in the room knows they're drunk and they're being really stupid. My cures for depression, again, you know what your body can and cannot do. This is what I do. I'm not a medical professional. This is how I deal with depression. If it's not my diet, if I hadn't been, it's not the holidays, I hadn't been traveling, I hadn't been visiting with people. When I visit someone and I'm staying with them, I don't make them pander to how I eat at home. If they're staying over here, I may buy regular pizza for them, and I'll have my gluten-free pizza. But if I'm staying with them, I don't expect them to buy gluten-free pizza just for me. So, whatever we're eating, I'll eat with them. I'll take my Benadryl. I'll, do what I can. If they're having soda, I can drink water. That's not a biggie. So they can have their high fructose corn syrup. I'm not. But if I'm wanting to use their ketchup, I'm not expecting them to buy me regular sugar ketchup versus ketchup with high fructose corn syrup. So you understand what I'm saying about that. But when I'm at home and I'm feeling depressed, and I know that it's not because I've been eating poorly, I find someone to help. There is always someone needing help. I volunteer my time at the library. I can go and do something there. And there's all sorts of people walking in and out. I visit with some older women that, and then I put myself, what can I do for you while I'm here? You need some help? And then there's little stuff like, well, can you just get those things down from the top shelf for me? Because they shouldn't be getting on step ladders even. So I put myself out there and I do good deeds. And it's selfish. I'm not doing it because I'm a good person. I'm trying to get myself out of depression. And it works. It works. And this is mild. This is not a severe, life just sucks. I've not gone to that place in many years, decades, because I've learned these little tricks from my diet to helping other people. And I will put in, if I can't go out and I can't do that kind of stuff, because right now we're down to one vehicle really. So if my husband's out, I'm not going to be able to go out too. It's like, or he needs the vehicle, or whatever reasons. It's like, okay, and I'll put in a comedy, or watch Just for Laughs on YouTube. Hilarious. You don't need to know English or French. You can watch them, and no matter what your language is. And they're just great. It's a great channel. And I can watch certain ones over and over again. I'll link my favorite one. Oh my God, that one. I put 8 hours of that stuff for my mom one day last year. And we listened to her laugh the entire day. And she is just going. And the next day I was like, Mom, I can find I can do more like that. There's other channels like that. She goes, no, I don't want it. She didn't want to be happy. Seriously. Some people like being a martyr. They like hurting, but I think she said her face hurt that night because she was smiling and laughing so much. And I was like, laughter is good medicine. And I was like, Mom, this is what you need. And I was like, just have a little bit. You don't have to do a whole, I won't do another 8 hours because that was a lot. But depression, we have to watch, certain people that are prone to it. If you're prone to it, you got to catch it early. Once you go down that spiral, it gets faster and faster and deeper. You got to stop yourself at the top as soon as possible. And you have to be honest with yourself. Sometimes you wanted to go there and you didn't stop yourself. I've been guilty of that. I've done that. That's why I'm saying that, because I know it happens. I've done it, and I've learned I'm not that unique in anything. I am not unique. I am not the only one that's been guilty of doing that. So I'm not trying to put guilt on you. If you're in a depressive state, please, I don't want you there. I'm not trying to put guilt. Own it and take care of it. And if you're not at the place where you can own it and take care of it, it's really okay. Take care of yourself how you can. There's a solution. I've said it before. There are more solutions than there are problems. You just got to find the right solution for you, for that situation. And don't feed the depression. Feed joy. I find myself, I think all of us were created to create beauty, to create joy, to create good memories. Whatever that means for you, if you have some sort of artistic bent toward some form, music. I have a friend who dealt with depression a lot, and she would play her violin, and that helped her when she played. When she refused to pick up her violin again, I knew that was bad. That was a big sign. That was bad. And she struggled. She struggled really hard. A lot of health issues. Her body did not work right. She passed away last year. I'm still grieving. I still can't believe. But there's a lot of things. And just grabbing those moments of joy. Draw something. Paint. They have all these adult coloring books now. You don't even have to draw. You can just color however you want. You don't have to finish it. But sometimes to get in those colors and that part of the brain going, it diminishes the depression. That's how I deal with it, and that's how I'm encouraging you to, give that a try. If you are on medications, some of the medications take time for them to work, and so you need to give that to you. And sometimes your diet can interfere with the medication working properly, and getting proper sleep. Not sleeping most of the day is not good. Seriously, put on Just for Laughs. Watch this video. If you're depressed and still depressed after watching that, or while you're watching that, and things aren't lighting up in your brain, going, "Oh, that's funny," and you start actually laughing, you really do need to get some help. You don't have to do it alone. And no matter what you may think, what that voice is saying in your head, you've got people that love you in your life. They don't want to see you suffer, but they may be at a point they don't know what to do anymore, especially if this has been going on a long time. Ask them for one suggestion, what they think you should do, and then you do it. Okay? No matter if you disagree, don't agree. Ask them for that, and for them to help you do that. Whether it's to clean a room, or just get up and dress, go take a shower, clean up, put some makeup on if you're a woman. Some guys wear makeup too, but it's not typical. But if you're a guy and you like that kind of stuff, go ahead. Do something. Put on your favorite outfit. Something. And change that. It's just a small step. Whatever you can do. Because I know it seems almost impossible, but it's not. You can. You can take that one little step and just stop. Okay, I did that. I put on something. What do you think? It's one of my favorite tops. I hadn't worn this for over a year because I couldn't wear a bra. I couldn't until I figured out something else because of my back issues. I couldn't wear this. So you can imagine. I'm very happy that I'm wearing this today. I love this. Don't even need a necklace. See, does that make you happy? Makes me happy. Go shopping. Retail therapy can be really bad for your budget. Go to a thrift store and only take $5. If you're prone to be out of control, do not take your credit card. Do not take your checkbook. $5 or whatever you're allowing yourself to have retail therapy on, and that's what you go with. Okay, whatever it takes. Figure it out. I believe you're a very intelligent person. If you're watching my channel, I think you are. And don't allow. I'm not saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps and soldier on. I know that's not always helpful. Laugh. Find something to laugh about that's not self-destructive. I also believe, there's a lot of fear when you're depressed. It's like you have anxiety over every bad thing that could happen in your life is happening in your brain. And I don't even want to go through the stuff that goes through my brains, but I will share one of my triggers when I know that I'm starting to do that spiral, when I'm starting to go down the drain. The very first thing, and it starts repeating, my husband doesn't love me. Not really. He doesn't really love me. Look at how he's acting. He doesn't love me. He doesn't love me. There was a time I could not shut that voice up. And it was hard for me to be loving to him. And he right now, in the past 2-3 years, he's been under so much stress with work. His company had a hostile takeover last year before last. They had a hostile takeover, so we didn't know if he was going to have a job last year, 2017. We were not sure if he was going to lose his job. He's our only source of income. So we were like, when we found out about the takeover, we were trying to make sure that we're okay, and we started stashing away. We sold stuff and put money aside to cover bills while he was, job hunting. We did a lot of stuff to be prepared just in case. So that's stressful. We had just moved here. That's stressful. We still have our old property that we're still trying to clear out stuff from. So he hardly got any downtime. I'm aware of all this. I mean, I'm stressed out with him. And I was even looking at options of, if I can go back to work. And then all that stuff happened with my mom. And she's moving in with us, and we're taking care of her. You can imagine what was going on. And when that voice started, it was very difficult for me to shut it up. But that's one of the first signals that comes in that I know that I may be going down the drain, and I need to stop. I need to pay attention to what I'm eating, especially. I can go for a donut or a croissant. Oh my! I gotta quit thinking about those things. But a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Oh my! Okay, stop it. But that is my. Not always. It doesn't always, but almost 90-something% of the time. That's how it starts. The most important person in my life does not love me. And, or doesn't love me the way I need to be loved. He hasn't said a nice thing to me in I don't know how long. Words of affirmation, he's not affirming me. He doesn't love me. I mean, it just cycles. That's my trigger. That's when I know that I'm starting to go down the drain and I need to halt it. It's not easy. It's very hard. And over time, though, as you learn these things, it gets easier. So you can overcome it on your own. What makes you that you're comfortable doing it? It's not comfortable at first, but it becomes more comfortable, and because it hits me where it hurts the most. And I don't feel like loving on him when I'm not, when that voice is going. I make myself love on him, rubbing his back, letting him know how much he is my hero. He's an amazing man. He is literally the smartest man I know. Not only because he married me and managed to keep me in the marriage, but he is very smart. The solar panel stuff, and you can ask him, how far is it to the moon? He knows distance to the sun, those kind of things. Get him to explain voltage and wattage and stuff, and yeah, I gloss over, but I really do try to learn. He's smart. What he knows, he knows. Brilliant man. And I can, I let him know I think that. I let him know how much he means to me, and I also will say I need to feel loved. I need that. I need you to show me some love. Let's schedule that for 6:00. Seriously, because that lets him prepare, and he needs that time. He normally supposed to get off work at 4:30, but lately it's been 5, sometimes 8 p.m. at night. And the world is global, so sometimes he has to wake up at 2:00 in the morning to talk to somebody in China. So, depending on his schedule, but I try to give him time to wind down from work and get back to being husband instead of worker. So I know what my triggers are, and I think it's very important to know what your triggers are. It can happen seasonally. It can happen around certain dates that you start feeling depressed, and it's understandable. You know what those dates are, and you know why. But you also need to learn how to deal with those feelings, because depression is a part, I believe, is a self-destructive thing that can really cycle into where you can't control it. You may need medication. You may need to get hospitalized. You may need a therapist. Make sure you find a good one. I think there's a lot of bad ones out there. I know a lot of we think of therapy is going, and they just let you talk and until you figure it out. For me, I like to get the bandage ripped right off. No slow pulling off. Rip it off. I want someone to go, this is your problem. This is what you need to do. Fix it. I don't want to spend 5 years to figure that out. So, it depends on who you go to, and there's people I trust that they're not therapists, but they will tell me the truth. So, are you dealing with depression? What works for you? What's helped you? What's not helped you? You need someone to talk to? Need someone to listen? You don't have anyone in your life? Let me know. Don't be ashamed. We all have different levels that we can tolerate and deal with. Don't let shame be part of that, okay? It's easy. I'm not trying to shame you. I have good days. I have bad days. I have really bad days. Really, really bad days. And they're now fewer and further apart than they used to be. I used to have them a lot more frequently. I used to walk around actually saying, just shoot me. And I meant it. It's like, just put me out of my misery. Shoot me. Shoot me. I was functioning. I was still cleaning the house, feeding the kids, walking around saying, shoot me. To my kids. I'd see the mess and I'd just go, shoot me. No one should live like that. What I did to those kids, like, during that phase, and they knew mom's not in a good state. They kept their distance. Kids shouldn't have to figure that out. So, I didn't know any better at that point. I've forgiven myself for that. They've forgiven me for that. I've changed, when I realized, oh my God, because I didn't know that was wrong at that time. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know that was wrong. I didn't know I was hurting them, but again, if you don't have someone, contact me. Let me know. We can chat online, or we can talk on the phone. If you're near me, I'll come visit. Or we can meet up somewhere. I'm out there, Again, don't think I'm putting myself, it's a good deed. It helps me. I'm not, at that point, I'm not storing treasures in heaven. I'm earning it, I'm getting my payment right here because I'm doing it for me too. It helps me not spiral down. So, thanks for joining me on this.